Whoa, I'm live. Hi AJ, hello. Welcome. It's good to be back. It's good to be back with the hexagons and with emotes this time. Sounding all good so far? Oh, thank you. Hi Bella. Hello, I didn't expect to see you here. How are you doing? Hopefully everything is going well. Can you not tell me please, AJ, if the sound is also good with the game audio? If it's a good ratio between the game audio and my voice audio.
Line. Game over.
Oh, that was such a good attempt. Dang, it's loud. Is it actually loud? Dang it. Oh, the ratio is good. Oh, okay. I'll trust you, AJ. I want I want the game audio to be like audible, like just a tiny bit less audible than my voice, but like around the same volume. Those two. Oh, your tooth exploding. I'm sorry about that, Bella. Hopefully, really hope you can go to the dentist soon to get that fixed. Whoop. Oh, it is a little loud. Okay.
Begin.
This is better now.
Line. Game
Oops.
over.
Okay, you need to do this now. Is no. Oh, I had to knock out my. Okay, good luck with that, Bella.
Begin.
Hopefully, nothing goes wrong with that.
Line.
I really didn't think about this, but maybe this isn't a
Game
very
over.
great game to be playing in the dark. I might have an epileptics issue. Yeah, it's fine. I've gone through worse.
Line.
And that is not a lie.
Game over.
Oh, what did I move?
Begin.
You kind of scare me, Val. I'm not gonna lie.
Line.
Eh.
Game over. Begin.
How do I play this? Well, you can play it with the arrow keys. I play with the arrow keys, but you can also play it with the mouse with the left and right click, and you can also play it with the A and D keys, like, you know, WASD.
Game
Whoop.
over. Begin.
Oh, very carefully. Yeah, very carefully.
Game
Shoot.
over. Begin.
You just need to. You are an arrow, and you need to not touch the bars.
Line. Triangle. Game
Oh, I
over.
took the scenic route again.
Begin.
But I feel like after 20 something seconds, it shouldn't be too hard. At least I'm hoping.
Line. Triangle. Game
Oops.
over.
It's hard for your small brain too. Aww. Don't worry, Bella, you're not the first one to say that. But your brain is not small, it's okay. With enough practice, anyone could do this.
Line.
I mean, I've been playing this for like, what, 3 hours already?
Game
Oh.
over. Begin.
No, it is.
Game
Shush.
over.
Aww.
Begin.
It's a
Game
perfectly
over.
normal
Begin.
sized brain. Don't listen to what anyone says. Not even yourself.
Line. Game over.
You need what is that reward again? I kind of forget. Oh shoot.
Begin.
Yeah, okay, that's not that bad.
Line. Game
Oops.
over.
Oh, that's a cutie move.
Begin.
Picking up the reward, I don't know what kind of fetish does Sniffer have with that reward, by the way. I will think twice before redeeming it.
Begin.
Hey, I'm making good, at least some better progress though. Last time I played this, I wasn't able to get past like 5 seconds, and now I cannot get past 10 seconds.
Begin. Line. Game
Oh,
over.
I did the full spin.
Game
Whoopee.
over. Begin. Line.
Okay.
Triangle. Game
Oh, I
over.
met that. Oh, I tied my record? How did I even do that? Okay, then I'm really hoping that after 30 seconds it becomes easier.
Line.
Just kind of fantasizing at this point.
Game
Woohoo!
over. Begin.
Yeah, we do the spinny spins. This game is like this game is like a constant spinny spin.
Line.
No, I did the full spin. Why?
Line. Triangle. Game
Ah, I went the wrong way. I really need to stop taking this freaking scenic route every single time.
Game over. Begin.
This is gonna take a bit.
Line. Game over.
What? Don't check Discord? I'm checking Discord. Don't worry about it. Oh my fuck. I really should like have some. I should choose my words a bit more carefully.
Begin.
I swear I did.
Line. Game over. Begin.
Down too late, but I already did
Game
it.
over. Begin.
And I probably shouldn't have.
Game
Ouch.
over. Begin. Line. Game over.
I
Begin.
pushed left.
Line. Game over.
What? What? Sorry.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
Yeah. Man, this AC is not even cooling the room down. But I like it because it's quiet. Unlike the one I have in my room.
over.
Dang it.
Begin. Line. Game
Oops.
over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Really?
Begin. Game over.
Oh,
Begin.
to just had a stroke on you? Oh, I'm sorry about that, Bella. Hopefully everything got fixed. For any catastrophe.
Line. Game
No
over.
way, you stupid... Bruh.
Line.
Yeah.
Game over. Begin.
Oh, okay, no cussing, Melon. So. I'm just really mad at myself
Over.
again.
Begin. Game over.
I mean, this freaking Christmas tree is on the way.
Begin.
The Christmas tree is making me
Game
lose.
over. Begin.
And myself. Oh, now I can feel it. Oh. Now I can feel the fresh air.
Line. Game
It was all the
over.
Christmas tree
Begin.
fault. Oh! Oh!
Line.
Oh god! Oh god! Okay.
Triangle. Game over.
You're gonna eat the Christmas tree? Please don't do that, Bella. You're gonna get a really bad stomachache if you do that. And your throat is probably gonna hurt because of the spheres.
Line. Game
You're gonna get a bloody throat, you really don't want that.
Line. Game over.
What am I doing, bro?
Game
Man, I
over.
really suck at this game.
Begin.
Cannot even get past 23 seconds.
Line. Game over.
Ah, really?
Line.
Oh, oh.
Triangle. Excellent. Game
Oh, it doesn't get
over.
easier. It doesn't get easier. It gets harder. Okay, be okay. Good night, Bella. See you soon. Thanks for stopping by. Always good to have you.
Line.
Okay, so I just learned it doesn't get easier after 30
over.
seconds. It
Again.
actually gets harder. Or not? I think it stays the same. I don't really know.
Line.
I cannot even tell anymore with this freaking game, man.
Triangle. Game over. Again. Game over. Again.
Come on, I know I can get past freaking level 3. And then do it again. For the fan.
Game
Oh, that was too far to the freaking left.
Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle. Game over. Again.
Shoot.
Line. Game over. Again. Line. Game
Yeah.
over. Again.
Ah man, why is this game so freaking RNG based?
Line. Game
Break.
over. Again. Line. Game
Man, I'm so
over.
bad at the game. Okay, wait, let me get some water. I'm really thirsty.
Again. Line. Triangle. Excellent. Switch. Game over.
What? What? How did that happen? How did that happen?
Begin. Line.
Oops.
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
Rick.
over. Begin.
Damn, Bella said she was gonna go eat me. She didn't.
Game over. Begin. Game
Oy.
over. Begin. Game
Ay,
over.
puta.
Begin. Triangle. Square. Game over.
Ah,
Begin.
kill.
Line. Game
Oh, I'm
over.
obsessed. Did I break my record? I think I did.
Line. Game over. Line. Game
Not being able
over.
to pause really does make this
Begin.
way harder. But I guess that's the point.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin.
Kinda got lost in the sauce.
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. over
Frick.
again. Line. Game over again. Line. Game over again. Game over again. Game
Man,
over
why is it
again.
always that bad?
Game
Always
over
a little to the right or a little to the left. I can never get it freaking right.
Line. Game over again. Line. Game over. Again. Line. Game over again. Line. Game over
So close.
again. Line. Triangle.
No.
Game over again. Line. Triangle.
No, I was
Game
too
over
far
again.
to the freaking left. But I'm making more progress now at least. I'm not dying like literally immediately after starting the level.
Line. Triangle. Game over again.
Can't really see well. Just spinning a little too fast.
Game over
Oh, okay.
again. Line. Game over again. Line. Game over
Oops.
again.
How dare you juke me like that?
Game over again. Game
Huh?
over again. Game over again. Game over again. Begin. Line. Trying. Game over. Begin.
Why did I have to throw me those two patterns at the same time? Like, I mean, back to back.
Game over. Begin. Line. Game
Yeah, I knew it.
over. Begin. Line. Game
No, I
over.
didn't. Okay. Hmm.
Begin. Line. Trying. Game over.
The freaking left, bro. How dare I? How dare I do such a thing? Really? No, to just die on you. Aw, don't worry, AJ. It's okay. So far, I haven't really made any progress on this level. I mean, I did manage to get to 30 what seconds? Like 33 seconds? 34, something like that? Yeah, but nothing really that substantial. But welcome back. Always nice to have you here. 35 seconds, whoa!
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle.
I was supposed to keep going. Why do I know, bro?
Begin. Game over. Begin. over.
Bruh.
Begin. Game
Ah.
over.
Why?
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
I'm a
over.
Why do I always stand there, bro?
Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
No.
over. Begin.
Oh man. Every time it throws that pattern,
Line.
my freaking brain just decides to turn off completely. I don't know why.
Game over.
And again.
Game over. Begin. Line. Game
No.
over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Ah.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin.
Again.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
I took
over.
the senior guard again. Why do I keep doing that?
Begin. Line. Game
Yes.
over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over.
No, right before the 20 seconds mark, man.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Line. Game
Liberty.
over.
Really? Really now.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin.
Okay, that was kind of stupid.
Line. Game over. Begin.
I have to pay attention to quite a lot of stuff.
Line. Game
Oh.
over. Begin. Line. Game
Oh
over.
man, I'm not good at multitasking, man. I'm only good at multitasking in Finance at Freddy's, but that's about it.
Game
Shoot.
over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Really, brother?
Begin. Game
Oops.
over. Begin. Line. Game
No.
over. Begin.
Man, if I take the scenic route one more time, I swear.
Game over.
Yeah, that was just me being an idiot.
Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin.
Can I really?
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. over.
Oh, really?
Begin.
This might take longer than I expected initially.
Game over. Begin.
I was expecting to at least be able to be done with level 4. But I might not even be able to
Line.
be done with level 3.
Game
And I
over.
love taking the scenic route for no reason.
Begin.
And
Game
again.
over.
Check, okay.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Line. Game over.
Not again.
Line. Triangle. Game over.
Really? I just hit 30?
Game over.
I feel like I was there for like 5 minutes, man.
Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Oh,
Begin.
shoot.
Game
I always
over.
feel like I'm
Begin.
doing good until I'm not doing good.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Line. Game over.
What
Begin.
the?
Game over. Begin. Game
Oh, I
over.
was at
Begin.
the right position, I think. That I move and
Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Square. Game over.
no. I was hoping I would be able to like fluke it, but nope. Didn't even break my record. I don't know what I was even thinking.
Line. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again. Game
Okay,
over.
let me switch hands now.
Again. Game over. Again. Game
Yeah,
over.
maybe switching hands was not the solution. I'm lasting even less this time.
Line. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again. Line. Game over.
I'm doing fine. Are you sure, AJ? Are you sure I'm doing fine? Because I feel like I'm sucking really bad.
Game
Oops.
over. Again. Line. Triangle. Game
No, the
over.
freaking everything. Okay.
Again. Line. Game over. Again.
The freaking spins always confuse me.
Line. Triangle. Square. Excellent. Game
No!
over.
No fluke.
Game over. Again.
But new record at least.
Line. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle. Begin.
Man, that pattern with the thin layers and the thick layers, I hate it.
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
The boat.
over. Begin.
Okay, Barbie. You gotta make sure I don't do it too quick.
Game over.
You gotta make sure I do it a little quicker.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin.
And if I'm gonna have to end up doing one stream per level, it's gonna be really tough.
Line. Game over.
What?
Begin. Line. Game
I pushed
over.
left, I
Begin.
mean right.
Line. Triangle. Game over.
Aw, come on, I was moving at the freaking speed of light and I still wasn't able to make it. Come on.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
Ah, now I moved way too fast, come on.
Line. Triangle. Game
Man, I hate
over.
getting to the
Begin.
triangle and then die immediately.
Game
Whoops.
over. Begin.
I hate that even more.
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
No,
over. Game over. Begin. Game over.
Really? Oh, no. Thanks, AJ. Oh, those are really cute emotes.
Begin.
I wonder what wonderful artist could have drawn them.
Line. Game
Really?
over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin.
Oh, come on.
Begin. Line. Game over.
I was the
Begin.
that.
Line.
No, I
Game
moved to
over.
the.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line.
No,
Game
I would say.
over.
Are you kidding me? Why do I always end up moving to the wrong side? Like how?
Game
I don't
over.
understand. And when I don't move to the wrong side, I move to the right side, but then I end up overshooting it. Like, what the frick?
Line. Line. Game over.
Okay, wait. I need to go get a bit of water because I'm getting thirsty. No, it's way too cold. I should leave it here. I don't want anything in the desk.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Line. Square.
No,
Game
I was
over.
I know I was going to move to the wrong way anyway.
Game
Oops.
over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over.
Lisa, yep, that's exactly me right now. That's me. That's me.
Begin. Line. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over.
Yeah.
Begin.
Oh, it's so hypnotic and trippy, I know. And it's making me really hard to concentrate. No, it's just that I'm really dumb. That's the problem.
Line.
And I end up taking the scenic route on every freaking turn. Like there, what the? Ah, frick. Oh. Okay, okay, I'm not dumb. I won't say that again. Just no more sad, please. I'll stop. I promise. But this game, this game, this game. Four in a row? What?
Over. Begin.
How did that happen?
Line.
Oh! That was the wrong position.
Line.
Frick me.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line.
Yeah.
Game over. Again.
Dude, I hate when I lose just because of the freaking tip. Like, just the freaking tip.
Line.
Just the one pixel of the very tip of the tip of the arrow. Like that.
Line.
Really? I wasn't to the wrong way.
Game over. Again.
Wait, I want to see. I closed the game accidentally. I wanted to see if there's an option.
Super Hexagon.
Is there an option to like To restart automatically, but it seems like there isn't. The Terry Kavanagh, that's the guy that's making me suffer. Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Begin. Game over.
Oh yeah, it's okay, don't worry. I fix it really quick.
Line. Game over.
Choosing to I'm choosing to suffer. I really am, aren't I?
Line.
I definitely live in a prison of my own desire. Why I was doing the beat on but doing
Begin. Line. Game over.
Where's my ball? Yeah, ouch. No, my bottle fell. Here we go.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Excellent. Hexagon.
No!
Game
Oh, it was so close. No, that was such a nice pattern. No. I freaked up. Oh, nice noises. Oh, thank you. Oh, involuntary stuff. Man. That was it. That was it, man. I had it.
Begin.
Oh, the game handed me the victory in a silver platter, and I rejected it.
Line. Game over. Begin. Triangle.
Again, really.
Line.
I
Game
hate
over.
messing up on the simplest of patterns,
Begin.
which I always do.
Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game again. Game over again. Line. Game over again. Game over again. Game
Oh,
over
it has
again.
begun. My streak of losing before I even hit 10 seconds every single time.
Line. Game over
Really?
again. Line. Game over again. Line.
Really?
Game
I thought I had
over
died, but then it survived.
again. Game over
And that was the wrong button.
again. Game over
And I died again.
again. Game over
I'm doing so well. Do you really think I got this? Hey, I don't. I'm not. I really don't trust myself in this.
line.
Like that.
Game
What the?
over again. Game
Okay,
over
why do
again.
I?
Line. Triangle. Game over again. Game over.
Another freaking time that I love messing up in easy patterns. Yep, that's me. Absolutely deceased.
Game over again.
Nice.
Game
Or
over again.
I hope one day I don't get an aneurysm from getting too stressed while playing games.
Line. Triangle. Square. Game over
What am I doing?
again. Game over again. Line. Triangle. Square.
No, why did I
Game
move?
over.
Ah, I thought it was one more to the left.
Begin.
Man, I can only pray that it freaking gives me easy patterns in the last 10 seconds.
Line. Game over.
If I waste all my good patterns on the first half, then I'm only gonna be left with hard patterns on the
Line.
second half, which is not gonna be good.
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Square. Game over. Begin.
Too much sauce.
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Line. Game
Again? It's okay.
Begin.
Is it? I really
Line.
would like to be good at the game. Ugh.
Game over.
But nope.
Game over.
Hmm.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin.
That is. Oh my god.
Line. Game over.
Sometimes it's hard to believe how dumb I can be.
Game over. Begin. Line.
No,
Game over.
I thought. What do you see me calling yourself? That I was gonna do it again. Okay, this time I'm actually not gonna do it again.
Line. Triangle.
No.
Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over.
I hate when I don't get the better with Louis.
Begin.
Don't waste all of your good patterns on the first half, please.
Line. Game over.
Well, if I
Begin.
could freaking move.
Game over. Begin. Line. Game
No,
over. Begin. Game over.
No, I don't want her, please. Much better. No, it fell again. There we go.
Begin. Line. Triangle. Square. Game over. Begin.
Wrong way. Oh, and that was such a good attempt. All the hard parents had already come out on the first half. It was only the easy stuff left.
Triangle. Square. Game over.
Taking the scenic route.
Begin. Game over.
Here we go.
Begin. Game over.
Please don't.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game
They
over.
pushed right.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
You're kidding me, man. No way.
Line. Triangle. Square.
No, I.
over.
Gosh dang it.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over.
Damn it.
Begin. Game over.
Oh my god.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle.
How
Game
does he
over.
fix it? No.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over.
Why did I push the other side? Why?
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
Mierda.
over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over.
What? What the fuck?
Begin.
Oh god, I'm dying. No, this game is killing me.
Game over.
Oh my gosh.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game
No.
over. Begin. Line. Game over. over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Shoot.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin.
What the? Why do some attempts feel longer than others when they're actually short?
Game over.
I
Begin.
don't understand. I don't understand this game.
Game over. Begin. Line. Game
Really?
over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle. Game over.
I was trying to move to the other side, but it was too late.
Begin. Line. Game over.
Okay.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line.
Mierda.
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
No.
over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
They tried to
over.
move to
Begin.
the
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
Fudge.
over. Begin. Line. Game
I thought I was
over.
gonna. I thought I was gonna crash on
Game
the.
over.
And I crashed on the little first layer. Wow.
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over.
God
Begin.
damn it. I never know which side is faster.
Line.
And
over.
I fuck.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
What?
over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin.
Pero
Game
put-
over. Begin.
Ay. This is not okay.
Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
I-
over.
What?
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin.
How did I not make it to the other side?
Game
How did I not
over.
make it to the other side?
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over.
Hey,
Begin.
what? That was just a triangle? Are you serious?
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Still did a high, but yes, I'm still at this. Didn't you say you were gonna go to sleep like an hour ago? I mean, I'm glad to have you here, but you know, sleep is important, Bella.
Line. Triangle. Game
My
over. Begin.
Oh, Austin woke you up, dang it. Well, good luck trying to get back to sleep, cause I know it can be rough.
Game over.
She be like, yeah, okay, goodbye, Bella. See you in 20 minutes, probably. If I'm still at this, that is.
Line. Game over.
Wrong
Begin.
fucking side.
Line. Triangle. Game
Fuck.
over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Square. Game
What the
over.
I
Begin.
thought it was gonna go a little slower.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game
Are you joshing me?
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game
Bit.
over. Begin. over.
Who are you?
Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Line. Game
I push
over.
ref, man.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Line. Square. Game over.
Okay. After a good therapy session with my psychologist, I am back.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
No, my bottle.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Big.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over.
I wanted to move a little bit, but I was like, no, I think I'm gonna get too far.
Line. Triangle. Game over.
Fuck.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Again. Line. Game
I was going the wrong way. What a but
begin. Line. Game
Puta.
over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle.
no, the wrong way again.
Line. Game over. Begin.
I never know when I'm gonna go faster and when I'm gonna go slow.
Game over. Again.
It's such a fucking guessing game every time.
Line. Game over.
Are you kidding me?
Line. Game over. Again. Line. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle.
No, I can boom every single fucking time. I die because I don't know if I'm gonna move too fast or if I'm gonna move slow, so I end up overshooting it or undershooting it.
Line.
Every single time, it's always because of that.
Game
Really,
over.
really.
Line. Game over. Again.
Really, I can.
Line. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Line. Game
No, I
over.
moved to the fucking right. Come on. You readjusted to the fucking right and it didn't matter. What the fuck?
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Square. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line.
Again, if it wasn't a fucking guessing game trying to predict which side am I going to go fast and which side I'm gonna go slow, this would be so much easier. Just make it go the same fucking speed at both sides.
Line. Game
What
over.
the hell?
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
I pushed
over.
to the left where the
Line. Game over. Begin. Game
No, I
over.
didn't mean to push the other key.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Really?
Begin. over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Begin. Game over.
Side.
Begin. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Game over. Again.
Oh my fucking god.
Line. Game over. Again. Game over. Again. Line. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Again. Line. Game over.
I really want to play the first one just to de-stress myself a bit.
Line. Triangle. Square. Game over.
Oops.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over.
No, hi there, fire.
Begin.
Sorry. But damn indeed. Yeah, I guess that's the best word to describe this.
Line. Triangle. Game over. Again. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
No.
over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over.
Really?
Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Line. Game over.
Life.
Begin. Game over.
Ah, my hand is starting to hurt.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. 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 Game over. Begin.
Well, of
over.
course.
Begin.
Decide to land right on the
Game
side that has
over.
a layer.
Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Square. Game over. Begin.
Why did I hesitate?
Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Game over. Begin.
That felt like a good attempt for some reason.
Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Game
Porque le-
over. Begin. Line. Game over.
Puta.
Begin. Line. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Game over. Begin.
I don't know why I love.
Line.
Always going the wrong way every time.
Game
I don't know
over.
why, I love it.
Begin. Game over. Begin. Game over. Begin. Line. Triangle. Square. Game over.
It was
Begin.
because I went the wrong way.
Line. Game over. Begin. Game over.
Okay, I'm done with the stream. Good night, everybody.